This new glitch remix is so good. Time for the underdog versus the champ. That's right. Uzi's the champ. He's the previous champ. I'm the underdog. 2 times Scorch, not 3. Dude, yeah, Glitch's new song is so good. Hey, Vivek. I'm live. What's up? You turn. Should be fine. Yeah. Yeah. All right, babe. See you in a bit. What up, Brody? Hey, Honcho, everybody. Let some people pour in. This is gonna be a talking discussion stream. I'll talk about the matchup a little bit. My thought. What up, Vloggy? I'll talk about my thoughts on it, and then Kevin, appreciate you, buddy. Thank you for the 22. And then I'll talk about my season and just my team overall. What Mons I thought performed well, what Mons I think underperformed. We played on Wednesday. But yeah, I wanted to do this. And then I'll obviously, when we do the watch together on Sunday, we'll probably go more in depth on things that I can actually talk about after results are there. But yeah, this will be a shorter stream. I'm very excited because tomorrow, if anybody watched the Chase interview after our game, I go to Dan's. It's time to eat 10 hot dogs. I'll say he underperforms that boy Register. I actually thought Register was fine. Did his job most weeks. Got crit. Not his fault. But other weeks he just did his job. But we'll talk about that after. I'm going to talk a little bit about the matchup first. Probably too late for this, but it'd be really funny if you guys swapped interest for the final. That's a little... Hey, Shroom. A little brawl. Oh, I mean, I think 10 is what they have in terms of like, I'm getting one of every single hot dog they have. And Chase and I are gonna destroy them. Which team are you cheering for? LA Wakers probably. I'll put that. It's all good. All right, let's look a little about this matchup. Yeah, I'm cheering for the Wakers. Nothing against the Titans. I just think that this will be the third finals appearance for the Wakers. It's also the third finals appearance for the Thunderclap Titans. This is the finals, correct? And I agree, Honcho. We'll talk a little bit more about that too. And yeah, just from some stats, this is my third out of, I think, 5 draft leagues making it to finals. I'm 5 out of 5 and making it to semifinals, 2 out of 5 and losing in semifinals, and 2 out of 3 in winning finals so far. So this will be the third finals as well. Yeah, we're already drafting for the next draft league, so don't worry. We're kind of started early, but like it's going really lax, no time and everything. That's crazy, Chimp. The video of the battles will go up on Sunday. So this is just pre-discussion about the matchup. We already played. And have you brought webs once, now that I think about it? I have. I just didn't really click them. I clicked them, I think, once versus Nexus, and that was about it. But I'll give my thoughts on this matchup. This matchup is very annoying because it's a rematch. I do not like rematches, especially when they matter. Because I can't just F it, we ball. I don't even have a first pick yet. I haven't drafted yet. I can't just F it, we ball, throw on dual screens, which is what I usually do versus Uzi when I don't care. And then I just want to see my mons perform. And that's what we did in regular season, right? In regular season, we had dual screens, Reggie Alecki, and then played already, know who won, you're keeping a secret? Yes. Dogs are doing well, thank you. But yeah, last time we played during the season, I had weakness policy Petrarunt, and he activated it, and he tried to catch Incineroar instead of psychicking the Petrarunt. Ends up Petrarunt getting 4 kills. Probably could have gotten all 6 if I click recover, but I just didn't care at that point either because I think the game was over at that point. So that was kind of like that, right? But I showed some of my best stuff at that first game. Weakness policy Petrarunt was insane. Jay Ricky, I love that video you did, by the way. I don't remember if I left a comment, but I definitely left a like. Weakness Policy Petra was insane. I showed some of my best spawns there. Weakness Policy Petra, Swords Dance Inteleon, Life Orb Quiver Dance Rabambi, and which I didn't use, and then Dragon Dance Terra Dragon Flapple as well with Lumberry. Like, I showed so many good Pokemon that could come again. And then I think the Incineroar, which is good, period. Just spit F Incineroar with Blaze. But, yeah, Chipback, I knew that. I know you realized that when you did a mock with me as well. I'll talk about that as well at the end. But can't wait for Playmore to make a comeback. You mean like in future seasons? Because it's already finals. Like, they can't. There's no grand final versus a random person who did it. I freaking love them, but I also can't wait. What up, Carlos? I love their content. Playmore's content is probably some of my favorite draft stuff. I would love some sort of like what is it? Lottery where you could just skip and make it to a certain thing. Winner plays Playmore would be fire. But a few things about this matchup. So that's my thought process. He also showed off some stuff, but I think the team he brought versus me the first time, besides his Decidueye and his 4 attacks, heavy duty boots, Delphox, and I guess screens, was worse than what he wants to bring now. Like, I don't think he brings fully Fizdef Okidogi. I don't think he goes home without the Dunsparce or Sandaconda. I think Sandaconda is pretty good in this game. Glare spam is really, I talked about a bit, but I think that Uzi's, the reason the matchup feels good for him is because Glare is really easy for him to click, right? My switch into Sandaconda is Quagsire or Flabble. That's it. There's no in between. Terra Grass, Regenerator, Fizdef, Cloth, maybe. Fine. Yeah, it definitely. I don't think it was strong enough last time either. Great. His team isn't that slow. It has enough speed for most of my mons that it needs. The mons that have speed in Okidogi and stuff outspeed everything. Like, there's some mons that are very difficult for me to bring because I think Delphox is extremely good from Uzi. Focus Blast, Fire Blast, you know, all the moves that can miss that Uzi loves to bring. Gunk Shot from Okidogi, Hurricane, you know, all that stuff. I think he is going to bring the Dunsparce. That's something I did fear last time. One of the sets that I thought looked really good into me was a Calm Mind Covert Cloak set, or Throat Spray Offensive, or even Specs, but Specs is a little bit harder because you have to click Earth Power every single time because Petra is way too good in this game. His Decidueye set last time was really good, and it was Swords Dance with Spell Tag, Poltergeist, Shadow Sneak, and Low Kick, which I think hits my entire team very, very well. I would say Leggy was fine, but Kana is just too good. Well, that's my thought process going into this, right? Because I'll talk a little about why I'm choosing certain Pokemon. I'm not going to tell you guys all about my team and everything because you guys can see that on Sunday. But I've decided that, like, so one person I've been building with a lot this season was Maverick Shooters, and during finals he did not help me because he did say he would help Uzi, and that's completely fine. I technically kind of tossed the matchup at him during regular season before he realized it was Uzi, so he would have helped Uzi during regular season too. But obviously I got a whole team of goats that helped me. Shout out to Amo and everybody else. I'm not bringing the same team. I think that would be the biggest mistake you can make because I don't think Uzi, like last time he didn't bring Thunderwave on Grimmsnarl, right? And it was really bad for him. I think there's no reason for him not to bring Thunderwave this time. So if I brought the same team as last time, I just get smoked by like Thunderwave, Grimmsnarl, and a few other mons like that. I think he's going to respect Quiver Dance Rabambi a little bit more, even though I didn't end up using it versus him. Because the Life Orb Quiver Dance set, if you watch my team preview from last time, because I think that's one big thing too, you have a lot of data to go back on after a game. Him more than me because we explained everything, but like I talked a little about certain things I want to bring as well. Where are your Scarf mons? The Betrayal. So like Life Orb Modest Quiver Dance Rabambi is extremely strong here, especially on their screens. Like Moonblast +1 knocks out Sandaconda. You got Bug Buzz for Slowking. Bug Buzz +2 knocks out Delphox. So you do live after 2 Quiver Dances, Flamethrower, and stuff like that. And I think one mon that he can really utilize here is Haunter. I like Haunter a lot. I agree, Carlos. I do think my Lumberry Flapple in that game, though, would have smoked, personally. But once Okidogi was gone, I think Lumberry Flapple just won the second he killed it. But Either way. It'll be about an hour, I would say, Cosmo. We're going to talk about this, then we're going to talk about my team as a whole and like my season thoughts and everything overall. But yeah, I think one mon he really is really good into my team is his Terra Captain Haunter. And I don't know how he thinks about it so much, but using both Haunter plus Delphox to overwhelm Spadef Incineroar, plus like, Uni, his Kilowattrel, can wear down my Ghost Resist. And Terra Ghost Scarf Shadow Balls are very good into this team. It's faster than, +1 Heracross, so Scarf or Trailblaze boosted if I bring that set. Say draft lower, I really enjoyed this. I want Uzi to bring Magician Delphox and Steel Boots from Incineroar. That's kind of nasty. That's pretty cool. But then you take Stealth Rock first anyway, Hunter. Isn't it better to just like have your own boots? I will say Amol did that though. About Sharp, Big Uni, Hurricane, and Air Slash who just hacks everything. I mean, that's like Uzi's go-to, right? He did go crazy with Uni in the semis and the quarterfinals. It hit everything, confused, self crits, and everything like that too. Talk about those matches when you already know the outcome. Because it's from an objective point of view. It's my thought process going into the game, Nolan. And outcome doesn't matter like in terms of what we can bring and what's like good and what's bad, in my opinion. Right? One thing I really like in this game, and I did not end up bringing it to finals. I'll tell you that much. But it's Dragon Dance Noivern. Looked really cool. With like an acrobatic Leech Life, maybe Brick Break set for screens type of thing. It struggles with Sandaconda, but like it struggles very much with Sandaconda. But we first getting, I don't know what his thoughts about this time. But this is live, Dr. Jargo. Hello. It really does struggle with Sandaconda, but it's so good. It's bulky under screen. This one can work under screens. It's so good. It's bulky under screens, and it has Infiltrator to ignore opposing screens. And the only reason Brick Break is good too is because you don't even need mix. Brick Break lets you bop Sand Slash while burning with the streams. It does suck, Kurgis. That Noivern definitely has underperformed this season. I think one of the funny things is that, so if you guys didn't know, I made it to P4G finals the first time I played P4G, which was in 2018. I made it to P4G finals. I lost to 6 Foot Hacks. 6 Foot Hacks, Leo, had Heracross and Noivern on his team back then, and I, of course, had Incineroar on my team. So I ended up taking his mons, and then obviously bringing mine as well. That's cool. But yeah, the SD Decidueye is a really cool win con, and one thing that I'm thinking is that actually makes Quagsire pretty good in this matchup. So hear me out. Decidueye can't really afford to run a grass move in this matchup. The one he ran in the last time he played, I think is the best set you could run. Rin. Why am I trying to do this with the word run? I already said ran and run. Why did I do Rin? What is that even for? Anyway, so because you need Shadow Sneak, because Shadow Sneak allows you to deal with the faster mons. Inteleon, Rabombi, Regieleki, Noivern after some chip, Heracross after some chip. Then you need Poltergeist, because Poltergeist is your main way of dealing with Registeel. Well, you have Low Kick too, but Pecharunt is the big one, Flapple, things like that. And then you need Low Kick because the best answer is Incineroar. It is honestly insane. And Incineroar is really good into Uzi's team. Blocks Parting Shot, tanks hits from Kilowattrel, can tank hits from Slowking too and knock it off. Tanks Decidueye, knocks it off, tanks Haunter, etc., etc. Tanks, it tanks a lot on this team. So I thought that Quagsire looked really cool in this matchup because I can, and I know a lot of people probably would run Spadef just because of Kilowattrel, but I like Fizdef because it allows a little bit of leeway in my way of dealing with Sandaconda and my thought process of dealing around it, right? Because some people sit in the stream, oh man, you can't really bring Regieleki here unless you want to run dual screens, boom, because Sandaconda. And I think that's a fine way to look at it. But I also think it's wrong, and I completely disagree. But I think it's a fine way for you to look at it. I just aside. Basically, don't worry about Regieleki dealing with Sandaconda. What is my response to Sandaconda? That way I don't have to worry about it. And then use Regieleki freely any other way I want to use it. Right? So take offensive Regieleki in this game, for instance, outside of Sandaconda. Just pretend Sandaconda, whenever it comes in, checked by Quagsire, unaware, you surf it, you stealth rock, whatever. It also gets pressured by Incineroar's knock, cloth, etc., etc. So it's almost like you form a screen run screwing for Lecky. So like offensive Regieleki is still really good here. What is his answer to it outside of Sandaconda? The Decidueye, which doesn't appreciate rocks, plus an offensive Thunderbolt. Kilowattrel, which gets 2-shot by Ancient Power. So like outside of that, that mon is super strong here. So if you look at, that's how I kind of took this finals. Like when I look at it, it's like, okay, Hawasab and DD Flapple to counter Sandaconda. And I think that's a good thing too. Last time I ran Lumberry to deal with Sandaconda. So that's like my thought process, right? And if you get the boost, it gets insane. That's another thing too. Like if he chooses not to bring Sandaconda, last time he didn't bring Sandaconda, last week he didn't bring Sandaconda. He brought Kilowattrel to deal with it, plus screens, which I think is honest. Well, he didn't bring screens, but he brought Kilowattrel, which I think is completely fair, and Decidueye. So he had soft checks. He didn't have hard checks. But I ended up bringing screens, not Ancient Power last time. So I feel like, are you trying to excuse an L? No, I'm not even. I'm just talking about like what my thought process is going into this. There's no excuses. This is how I build teams for draft and what I think about teams when we talk about it. It's like, okay, wow, this mon might look really bad here to you. To me, we do this as long as we have a switch into this Pokemon, we should be okay. Even if Regieleki every single time is coming in and Sandaconda comes in and I click Rapid Spin and I just get rid of rocks, I can then go Quag type of stuff. So that's like the thought process there. Yep. Exactly, Honcho. It's more in depth, especially because it's me versus Uzi, the second rematch. And I get the rematch, and I hate rematches. I really do. And I really think Uzi has so much cool things he could bring into me that he didn't bring last time. Look at a Alolan Sandslash. Never Melt Ice, Adamant, Triple Axle. Extremely strong. It can actually 2-shot Quagsire if it hits all 3 times and rocks her up. So it's insane. It's really, really, really good. I would argue that Uzi has the slight advantage going into this just because I showed some of my best stats, stuff the first time, and I know he didn't. 100%. Yep. He has Dachshund as well. I actually don't like the dog too much in this matchup, I'll be honest. I think the only good thing it can do is yawn spam into me. It doesn't beat Petron. It has Terra Dark, but what? You're going to click Snarl? Okay, you just lose the Malignant Chain anyway. But like the key mons that he didn't bring last time were the Dunsparce and Sandaconda. Literally, Lantern, I agree completely. I wish Cloth learned Shell Smash. You know, I actually wish Cloth learned Spikes. It's decent into Incineroar. The Incineroar set I brought last time had Knockoff and Roar. And I think it's still super good into Uzi's team. I knock off its boots or whatever item's holding and I just phase it out. Or I just switch to Petron. Petron's obviously amazing in this game. I agree, Honcho, a lot. I think Covert Cloak the Dunsparce is one of his scariest threats because Calm Mind Covert Cloak the Dunsparce is very, very annoying. Quagsire can live 1 and can Toxic, which I think is pretty big, and Incineroar can knock. But the thing about those mons is that that's his whole thing, right? His special mons all overwhelm Incineroar. The 3 core of Delphox, Haunter, the Dunsparce is so good into my team, and it all pressures the hell out of Incineroar. I do think Cloth is very good here, though. I think both Terra Captains are very good. And both offensive sets. I think Dragon Dance. I even think Bandit is good on Flapple, too. But one thing I learned, and we'll talk a little bit about when I kind of do the season recap a little bit after the more matchup talk. But one thing I learned about Flapple is that you do not have to run Hustle on that Mon. And I mean, look at my week 1, look at my last week. Type of thing. You do not have to run Hustle on that mon, and I feel like I underutilized Ripen. I think I should have used it more, and we'll talk about that, like I said, in a little bit. But I think Inteleon's still really good. He still should fear the Swords Dance set. Like the Swords Dance Ice Shard Liquidation set still goes absolutely stupid, and I think for that reason, because last time he only parting shot it, I think for that reason Thunderwave on Grimstar is really, really good. The Wakers and both team are in finals. Ancient rivalry. Yeah, Hustle definitely loses more matchups than it wins, and Ripen lets you set up multiple. I'm gonna get off a DD most of the time because of the Ripen ability. I think his Slow King offensively is really nice. Last time he used it with a Eject button, but that just ended up losing to SD and Teleon. I think a Trick Room weakness policy set is likely to come as like an endgame win con, or some nasty plot weakness policy set. Or I think I do a Necro Stevo. Yeah, it is. It is. I think that is really likely to come. So like those are the mons I'm kind of fearing in this matchup. Haunter, the Dunsparce, and Endgame Slowking are mons that I'm definitely fearing. What up, Tay? Looking at this matchup, mons that I don't like in this matchup for me to bring. Probably shouldn't have been allowed to Terra. Oh yeah, it's good mon. I freaking love getting grass types and using them in draft and them being some of my best Pokemon. Arboliva, Hisuian, Electrode, Flapple, obviously. And then if you want to go a little bit further, you can go to like Meowscarada, right? And like the list just goes on. Cloth. My favorite grass type, Cloth. But yeah, and Torterra, obviously. Tort should have never been allowed. But yeah, Tort. So Cloth is really interesting here because Swords Dance is still really good. Trailblaze at +2 does not deal with Sandaconda, but you could also run like a Swords Dance Terra Blast, which is slightly stronger, 20 points stronger, just because Trailblaze does go up to 60 base power. And Terra Blast being 80. So it's slightly stronger. Yeah, Delphox is really fast. Mon's good. The good thing is Inteleon is so fast that a modest Inteleon does outspeed a timid max speed Delphox. So that's something to keep in mind in this game. I wonder who allowed Torterra. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. People are wild. But yeah, like Rabombi's still really, really strong. I think every mon in this matchup has potential to come from me. The only tough ones are like Registeel is probably the best. Do you think Weakness Posse Anger Shell Cloth is good? I do under screens. I think the biggest thing is like Reggie is good and bad. Because it's a good Haunter check, it's a good Grimmsnarl check to an extent. It can check the Dunsparce. It not having access to Toxic in this generation kind of lowers its viability. The fact that it also, Sandaconda, assuming it comes, will almost certainly be Shedskin. No, you need Incineroar here. Otherwise, you just lose to Haunter Ghost Spam. And Delphox cooking Psychic. Look at my team and look at Psychic. Or look at my team and look at Fire. Move like you literally need it. Oh, Rabombi's amazing. It also doesn't give a damn about Delphox and Okidogi. Last time I used a Life Orb modest Quiver Dance set with screens with Psychic Noise to knock out Okidogi, and then +1 Bug Buzz does like 90 to Delphox while you live Fire move after +1. So, yeah. It's definitely good in this game. Another mon that I was like iffy about in this matchup, well, there's two. Heracross. So Heracross, you look at this team, and you look at the switch into Heracross. If he runs Fizz Def Okidogi like he did last time, it's not that great. Delphox can outspeed it. He could also do like a Mirror Herb type of thing. If I go for Trailblaze and he brings it in and then, you know, gets the +1 speed. Hera's weird. Like, I feel like it's good and bad. I agree, Nolan. And I saw that a lot from Viz. Kind of the reason for that. No, Reggie didn't do nothing but disappoint me. It helped me out versus Callum and got the Thunder Wave on Skeleturge, which kind of gave me like a few type of moment. It was fine. Obviously, it got crit twice, but whatever. But yeah, I'm not bringing Reggie in this one. It was originally on a team, I will say that. But I don't like it as much. I think it just opens up too much Sandaconda. It doesn't make it that good. Heracross is amazing, though. Don't get me wrong. Heracross is always a freaking amazing Pokemon. It's very hard for Uzi to switch into, but if he runs that Fizz Def Oki and then, like, I can't Facade and, like, what I would have to do with Heracross is I would have to attack into Okidogi and then switch and then later get a Trailblaze and then come back and then do, at that point, if he has Rocky Helmet, if he has Rocks plus my own Flame Orb, I'm like at 30%. So the mon's not doing what I think it is. What I think on Petrarunt, I think Petrarunt's amazing, and I think Petrarunt should always come to this game. Malignant Chain has a 50% chance to poison the opponent and confuse them. Shadow Ball, it's also like one of my best Okidogi checks. It can lose 1v1 to Okidogi though. I don't think he'd let me get a cheeky weakness policy like he did last time. Also, it's faster than Sandaconda and Decidueye, which is something that will be, you know, EV'd for this time. Last time I wasn't. It's also a Doxman check. And depending on like if it's physical, the Dunsparce with no Covert Cloak can beat it too. Deals with Grim. Like it can lose to Grim, it can beat Grim type of thing. Even it lives like a modest Choice Specs Hurricane from Petron as well. Excuse me, from Kilowattrel. And I think one thing that is interesting too is that Petron does not have to run Fizdef in this game. It still doesn't, die to the attacks. Are you doing the match live? No. The match will be uploaded on Sunday. It's already done. It doesn't have to be Fizdef. It can actually be a little bit more Spadef to tank the Specs Hurricane, to tank a Psychic from Delphox, tank Haunters, Terra, Ghost, Shadow Ball, to tank a Psychic from Slowking, to tank an Earth Power from the Dunsparce. Because I think that on the special side, Uzi threatens Petron more. Yeah, that 30% for throw shot was crazy. Did 0. What up, chicken? How you doing, fam? But that's like kind of my thoughts on that. I think that Uzi's Delphox is probably one of his bigger threats. Besides Scarf Launcher, I think Delphox is probably one of his biggest threats. It's just like one of those monos, like if he predicts Incineroar, last time it didn't work out for him, so he might be a little bit more scared. But if he predicts Incineroar and lands a Focus Blast and is like, you know what? This is finals. My time is now. My anime moment is right here and now type of thing. Plot Armor, Uzi, and just connects 2 Focus Blasts in a row. Incineroar dies. Like, he's so freed up to click Psychic. And the fact that he can run screens on Grim this week, which I think he should, is really good. Yeah, the match was already played. No, I already played. We're just talking about the matchup. And what do you mean, what is Plot Armor? Did you not watch quarterfinals or semifinals? Hit, confusion, crit to start the game, confusion, crit. That's Plot Armor Uzi. If I close my eyes, no. Hey, that's fair. You know what, you're right. Close your damn eyes and you'll be fine. You see the turn 1 crit from Dunsparce? Yeah, I'm saying it was a rough match, and obviously the match versus Jack was just rough in general from both sides. One thing I really like being effective in is that, yeah, I really like that mono. I like Sanaconda. I think Glare Earthquake is just broken here. In terms of, I'm doing well. Thank you so much. Let's bring in the hacks this week. Again, it's gonna be one of the matches where he didn't bring it last week. Last time he played, right? He didn't really bring Glare Spam. He didn't bring any of that, and I feel like that's so good into me. And it also is consistent. It's like TheUzi. What's the end game you're looking for? Trick Room Slowking or Agility Delphox, Honcho, something like that. Trick Room Slowking, Agility Delphox. You could try for the Swords Dance Decidueye endgame. I don't think it's as strong now that I know about it, but I think Trick Room Slowking is like almost a given here. I think he uses it good. Thank you. Hunter makes me sad. Why they dude, Hunter's good. What's your opinion on the best of 3 format for Draft League finals? Nah, fam. Imagine Uzi and I played best of 3, right? And then we already played in regular season. How many teams can I come up with that I didn't already spoil in interviews? I am not a fan. Oh, that's another thing too. Like, while Terra Ghost Scarf is really good, I like Terra Fight Focus Blast if Uzi hits that. He can run Terra Blast though, as well in Haunter. But Terra Fight Focus Blast is insane. Even Spadef Incineroar takes like 99 from that. Nah, Delphox fire, fam. I love that mono in draft. I'm glad he's using it to success. I don't think best of 3 is made for draft. I think that's really like bad. So Physical and Polion is what I brought the first time. I think that Special is really good too. I think both of them can still work here in a sense. Delphox is really strong in draft, man. Thank you, AJ. If you were Uzi, would you risk Focus Blast in finals though as a thing over Terra Blast? Now, if I was not Uzi, I would not risk Focus Blast in finals unless I absolutely needed to. However, if I am Uzi, who has shown time and time again that accuracy is just a state of mind, that clicks Hurricane without fail, without caring, that clicks Focus Blast, that clicks Gunk Shot, and just does not care. His only mon that's missed, I think, for him worst, like really, I mean, obviously, Okie Dokie did miss versus Jack, but like his Decidueye is Poltergeist. I think Uzi always brings his inaccurate moves. He is and I've said it multiple times in streams, he just does not care about accuracy. He does not care about accuracy. What are you talking about, Grape? Should I open up some YouTube videos where he goes for inaccurate moves? Do you want me to show a bunch of them? I can make a clip. It probably will only take me like 10 minutes to make a montage of this. I'll be honest. He has so much footage on his channel of it. He is the main character. But like I'm saying, like, I also do think that 10 minutes of uni. Hurricane, miss. Hurricane, miss. But yeah, that's just like kind of that thing. But in terms of matchup, I do think slightly in Uzi's favor, just because I showed a lot of my strongest mons in my strongest sets, in my opinion, in the when you're playing Ubers, hopefully sometime in the future. Taking the hacks allegations to struggle loss. Hey, I mean, it's true. I do think it's slightly in Uzi's favor. I'd probably go like a 55-45. Now, Uzi has not back with Uzi with the Demon Flapple set. Oh, the Iron Defense one, Tay? Wish Quick Claw was allowed in the draft. I want to do Quick Claw, Belly Drink Glove. I mean, you can still do 30% of the time. Why you don't use Hurricane Noivern on Virizion? Because I can use it the second time and thought he'd switch. Are you talking about the game I lost in week 7? Or 6? What up, Pedro? I got my rematch versus him. I beat him in last week with Dragonet's Flapple. I'm not, Hamad. It sounds fraud. Watching the final on stream? On Sunday, yes. So let me talk a little about my team. And I'll talk a little about my team and like the season overall. So I think my team suffered a lot from success. I'll be honest. I think my team was really good. Like I think this is probably one of my stronger teams in my opinion. I think I got a lot of steals. Like what's Uzi's record against me? 0-5 or 0-6. But I really think my team suffered from success. Obviously, I got away with Petrarunt, right? I got away with Petrarunt. Heracross is still insane. And then, like, Inteleon was low-key MVP of the season. This might be one of my strongest teams. I think PPL also had one of my strongest teams, too, to be honest. But... hold up. Your SPL Season 1 team was nuts. I guess that's also true. Quackable, Dragapult, Clefable, yeah, that team had no bad Pokemon. I don't think I ever have a team that actually has like Pokemon that are just terrible. Some say Uzi, some say Uni. But Petrarunt obviously was one of the biggest steals. I think the Mons that were tiered wrong in this, Regieleki. I think Regieleki is so much better than a tier 4, right? Regieleki is a tier 4 in this. Regieleki in the same tier as Quagsire and Registeel. I think, yeah, that's true. That's true. Rockabilly is definitely in the balloon. I think Regieleki is like legitimately so good every week. And like you might be thinking it's just a screens machine and boom. I feel like we already played just to watch on Wednesday. It's more than just screens though too. It's the fact that you check Scarfers naturally, the fact that you can rapid spin with it and not care about anything, and basically like I don't know if you guys remember my game versus Nexus. I mean, even then, fam, that was just poor prep that lost me in semis, Dandelion. I think I could have won SPL Season 2 with that team. For sure. No, Cloth was good. What are you talking about? Cloth was literally good this season. It helped me out versus... It got like 2 kills versus Nexus. It either was a lead Endeavor. It literally won me the game versus Callum in quarterfinals. It was actually the reason I won. It got 4 kills versus Callum in quarterfinals. And then Flapple got 6 kills in semis. Cloth did its job so well this entire season. Like the only Mon that underperformed this season, and I know y'all guys say Registeel because it got crit, but I think Registeel did its job fine. Stealth Rocket, Thunder Wave, the Skeletors, which I think was important. It did get crit though, which was really sad. But I think it could have done more. I think my worst Mon this season was Noivern. And that's why I meant, like, I think my team suffered from success because, like, I think Noivern is a fantastic draft Pokemon. Taunt Super Fang is really good. I definitely underutilized that. But the reason being is because I didn't really need to bring people down to half. I could just mess them up with Guts Heracross or confuse them with Malignant Chain or stuff like that, or Snipe Shot crit them, right? So, like, I feel like Noivern didn't have... Oh, I don't know. If Petron was tier 1, I wouldn't have gotten the Heracross, obviously. It might have just been drafted. Team often filled Noivern's role in other ways. That's why I thought so too. Like, I didn't need to bring Defog because I had Spin Regieleki. I still think, and also it's another Mon that has to hit Hurricane, which is always garbage, in my opinion. I like the Super Fang Psychic Noise sets. That was fun in Mox. And Noivern did come to a couple of knocks. I tried Dragon Dance. This was definitely one of the because I used Noivern a lot back in the day too. This was definitely a season where Noivern just did not do anything, for sure. I'm actually gonna look at the stats. Brody, thank you for the gifty, fam. I appreciate that. You do not have to gift every time I'm live, bro. I appreciate you. Quagsire didn't do much. Quagsire was the reason I won week 1. Basically got a Brox, which is what I needed. I think Quag did its job every time. Just get a Brox. That's all I needed Quagsire for. The occasional Encore, which was really cool. Blocking Primarina. Plus I want 5, round up to 555. Well, thank you, fam. Let me look at the standings overall for the MVP race for Noivern. Quagsire did get crit, though, by Ellie. So Noivern came to 3 games. It came to 3 games. Got 0 kills and 2 deaths. Like, the one game where Noivern actually helped me out was the game versus Ellie, which was, I think, one of my best games of the season. It defogged and also switcherooed and stuff. Yeah, that was like, which was very important for me to win. I had to defog so Petrarun could win me that game. So that was important. Like, that did help me beat Ellie. That was just it. But Noivern got no kills, which is really crazy because I think Noivern is a fantastic Pokemon. I also think it's very annoying to prep. Every single week when I was looking at my opponent's teams, I'm like, damn, Specs Hurricane just goes stupid. But then I'm also like, damn, am I really just locking in on a 70% accurate move? Like, I don't know anybody who can just, like, comfortably say, I'm going to bring a 70% accurate move and click it every match, no matter what. Like, I don't think anybody could do that in a draft league. And I really couldn't bring myself to do that myself. Like, I feel like it's just, it was just a little bit too hard to bring myself to do that. And like, when I wanted it for hazard control, I basically would say, I got Regieleki to Rapid Spin. So Noivern definitely one of the more annoying ones. Air Slash is too weak on Noivern. It does not have enough special attack. It's just way too weak on Noivern. So like, I couldn't justify it. I like the Super Fang sets, but I feel like if I'm using new place, it's nice. Not fully settled in at all. We still got a pack a lot. And we just have so much going on this month that it's so hard. But I got a haircut today for the first time. So that's nice. Finally, not the same length all around. Happy about that. Got my 0 on the side. First time since being bald. Fade. But yeah, so Noivern definitely one of the Mons. No, Bald Joey's not coming back. I think the other Mon was... The other Mon I feel like I underutilized was honestly, I don't think I used Flapple correctly. For some of my games. For some of them, obviously, like I think I underutilized Ripen. I think I underutilized Ripen. I think I should have used it more. Oh, I mean, Flapple went stupid this draft, right? Obviously, Ripen got 5 kills week 1, and it got 6 kills last week. I just think I should have used Ripen more. Because when I used Hustle, it was still good. right? Hustle was obviously good. It got kills with Dragon Dance, but I feel like I shouldn't have limited myself to 80% accurate moves, which are like, you know, oh, am I gonna do this or not? But I don't know. I think Ripen is actually broken on that mon, like high key. And I knew Flapple would be busted, but yeah. Just kind of like my my thoughts there. I think Ripen plus setup is literally exactly. You have more opportunities too. It's a little bit easier to speed. Plus, you're boosting your speed without having the, like you can just set up in front of it. Like the game versus Chase was just really, and relying on RNG is really tough. That's why I don't like Hurricane Mons too much. I also hate like the Bleak Wind Mons. I feel bad for Jay Ricky. Obviously, he missed a lot of shit. Speaking of Jay Ricky, he made a really cool point of leftovers in draft and how it's pretty usually bad. I agree for the most part. I don't think I ran much leftovers at all. I think I ran more boots, berries. I think I did run Black Sludge on Petron just because I had good hazard control that game and I was running sub, but still, even from there. Cloth I think was really cool. I wanted to use more regen. I'm really glad that it kind of shined. Well, it did shine in the quarterfinals game versus Callum. I think the biggest problem was I couldn't bring both Cloth and Flapple a lot of times. And even though I did versus like, you know, Seabat last week, it's weird because I feel like if Cloth had spikes, it'd be so good. You wish to use Incineroar in different ways aside of just max HP, max speed F in the same set a lot of the time. I mean, Zav, I did bring like weakness policy sets. Why is lefties bad? I mean, you're taking spikes, you're taking stealth rock. I'd rather run boots. I'd rather run Stitch Berry. You know, not be too killed by poltergeist type things. Want to see an Anger Shell sweep? It was tough. I got some kills versus Nexus with Anger Shell. But Incineroar was weird because every roll, I just ran Fizz Def and Spid Def. I think that's all I needed it to do for my team. And again, that's what my team was suffering for success. Incineroar, you literally just has to bring in Specs for Bombi. Incineroar has to bring in Guts Heracross. Incineroar has to bring in Petrarun, right? Flapple. I think Incineroar did its role. Incineroar was probably the biggest support mon for the entire team. It literally did its thing. It literally did its thing. I think the thing with Webs is that Delphox always runs boots here. So I don't think it's the craziest thing. But yeah, I don't know. Rabombi was so cool, and in Mox it obviously killed, but I wish it did a little bit. I'm gonna put that first music in. I wish it did a little bit more in the season. I just kind of won with other mons before, or lost with other mons before I could do that. Yeah, Sanaconda is definitely a threat. Agreed. But yeah, Noivern is probably the biggest, one of the biggest disappointments of the draft. I do not regret getting it because it did help me beat Ellie, and that was an important game. Think about clicking active moves. I literally always run a Hydro Pump on Gren. Have yet to an impactful one. That's another thing too. There was only 1 week, and it was week 1, where I ran Specs and Inteleon. I don't know if y'all noticed, but for the most part, I think Inteleon is the GOAT. Right? I'm obviously not in this matchup. I mean, I think it's good in this matchup too. But y'all saw me use Scope Lens damn near every week I brought Inteleon. If it wasn't Swords Dance or if it wasn't the Specs. Okay, I guess I did bring dual screens as well last week. But I feel like, oh, they banned that. I feel like Inteleon's so freaking good, guys. Like, I have so much respect for this one. You just click Snipe Shot. You have a 50, with Scope Lens, you have a 50% chance to crit the opponent. And it's Sniper, it's so stupid. Like, that mon, definitely one of the MVPs of this draft. I think Inteleon legitimately one of the MVPs of this draft. Like, the 3 best mons on my draft team, in my opinion, not counting Terra Captains, were Regieleki, Petrarun, and Inteleon. It literally is Dracovish sometimes. That's a good way to put it. The fact that I can switch up moves and then have this chance to crit, like, and I can beat resistances with that. Even Slowking. So if Dark Pulse gets the crit on Slowking, it does like 99%. Like, it's crazy how strong it is. Incineroar was the glue holding your team together. Oh, I agree. Incineroar is great. I just think Regieleki, Inteleon, and Petrarun were better. Regieleki was literally... If Incineroar was the glue, Regieleki was the damn wheel driving the team. or the gas pedal, whatever you want to call it. Some things I wish I used more on Quag this season was, were banded or like assault vest sets that I would start builds and like, yo, banded Quag looks cool here. But when I bring Quag, like the best set was just clicking hazard, encore, and recover, and then toxic, like things like that. Like it ended up just being better. It just ended up being better for the most part. I agree. I think that's another thing. Having Petrun was like having an arena trap Pokemon. Petrun forced so much prep from my opponent, and it still beat Pokemon. Like that's another mon. Petrun is not one-dimensional. Neither is Regieleki, by the way. Petrun is not one-dimensional. Like, yeah, you can run the nasty plot, whatever. You can run the parting shot, but you saw versus the Dragalge matchup. I ended up using. I agree, Cridges. I don't know why I called you that instead of Chris. I ended up using sub Nightshade in order to deal with Dragalge, which was sick. Were you happy with your hazards this season? I actually barely brought hazards this season, Nolan. It was tough, right? Because obviously I had rocks on Cloth and Registeel and Quag, and then only spikes on Quag plus Heracross, and I barely brought hazards this season. For some parts, Zav, yeah. Like, there was just no point. There was no point. Like, I would start off with a Banded Quag, and I was like, why am I doing this? If I want to abandon Mon, I'll use Guts Heracross with Flame Orb type of thing. So, like, there was just no point in some of them. When you're gonna do Showdown, we can donate $50 to make a team. we can do Showdown tomorrow. We'll do some Showdown tomorrow night. We can do some viewer teams tomorrow. Yeah, Petrun is the GOAT. It's literally been broken since week 1. Yeah, everyone ran heavy duty boots. And if I ran hazards, I obviously had knockoff. But I barely ran hazards this draft. I just ignored them as well. I brought a lot of heavy duty boots when I needed them. And I felt like my team dealt with an insane amount of hazard support. Like, I keep going back to my game versus Nexus where I brought triple Sash, lead Cloth, Sash Heracross, and there was another Sash. Was it Rabambi? Sash Rabambi as well. When I brought triple Sash versus Nexus, like I felt like my team let me play in certain different ways. But rock spikes that are broken, but would you consider hazards important in current draft or struggling with that recently? Nah. I don't. Unless you have enough knockoff. I mean, unless you're talking about hazard control. Or you're just talking about hazards in general, right? Because I've already stated how I feel about hazard control. I mean, look at my PPL, where I had no hazard control. No resist some types, and still, like, you know, straight up champion. I don't think you really need hazard removal. And hazards, I actually don't think... I think you need them to threaten the opponent. But I don't think that they need to actually come to a lot of games. And at least in this team's case, the reason being is there was never a difference between a 2-hit KO with a hazard or not from, you know, Flapple. Or from an Anger Shell Cloth. Or from a Snipe Shot Inteleon crit. Right? Or just from me poisoning. Like, my mons that hit so hard that they were 2-shotting or 1-shotting anyway without hazards, which is why I didn't do it. A second ever draft league with only hazard setters being Greninja and Screamtail for half the season is not necessary. Yeah, I don't think it's necessary. No, like, don't get me wrong. Spike stacking is one of my favorite styles, and I've done it in multiple leagues. But this was the one league where, yeah, I had spikes and stuff, but I barely did it. I barely stacked. I barely got up hazards. How I feel about 1 boots per team rule? I think that if you're limiting draft to that much, it's not draft anymore. Will all the Pokemon you had be higher in points? I doubt it. Probably Petron. I think Lucky would as well, but I doubt. Overall, though, I'm pretty proud of my... Yep, I had Toxic Spikes and never used them. And they were on teams at points, too. But it's kind of hard. Like, T-Spikes is pretty decent into Uzi, but he's definitely bringing Okidogi. Is Reggie still broken? No. I don't regret getting Reggie. And if it wasn't crit multiple times, Reggie would have been the GOAT for me as well. But, yeah. It's just so freaking good. I really wish Cloth got spikes, though. I would literally use Boots Regenerator Spike stack. I think it would have been so good with just knockoff support. That's like the big thing. But yeah, I was like, this was my thing, was setting up hazards. And you kind of saw it when I was using Hisuian Samurott in PPL. Hey, welcome back, fam. that if you're wasting a turn getting up hazards, you're wasting a turn not attacking. So Samurai, obviously, Cecil Edge doesn't care about that. Cleavor, another one, doesn't care about that. Stone Axe. I just made playoffs in my only draft league season after going to 212. Nice. I only brought hazards like twice this season and never had an actual hazard league. Nice. Quag gets the hazards, yes. Spikes, Stealth Rock, and Toxic Spikes. You bring the same sets to rematch, you use different. For the most part, they're different. We'll see, Carlos. I hope so. But yeah, I feel like with my team in particular, it was better to attack than to get up hazards for most times, right? Obviously, a more passive mon like Registeel can do differently. If I win this will be my third time in finals as the LA Wakers. And if I do win, it's my third time winning. Yes, it would be a 3 out of 3 for finals. This is my 3rd out of 3 making finals. I am 5 out of 5 on semifinals and 3 out of 5 on making finals. I'm sorry, 3 out of 3 finals appearances. No. Actually, 3 out of 5 making finals is correct. Yes, 3 out of 5 on making finals. So LA Lakers has been doing good. I've really loved draft this season, this generation. More offensively based teams, I think, are fine. I think this season, because like in the past as well, that's something just in general. I don't know if you guys remember some of my teams like the WBE or all the old draft leagues. I would really focus more on like super balanced, super bulky builds. And I guess this one has some potential with that, but it's only Quag and Registeel. You bet 10K on me? Damn. Lunner's not going to do it, Cindy. But like back in the day, I don't know if you guys remember where I would use things like Toxapex, Defensive Breloom, Bronzong type builds, right? That's fair grade. It was 6 years ago though, 6+ years ago. I would use those bulkier fat builds, and now I find myself like I have a naturally bulky Pokemon in Petron, but I use a lot more bulky offense now because take my game versus Uzi in SPL Season 2. Anybody remember my game versus Uzi, SPL Season 2? Arboliva, Lycanroc, he had Dragapult, I had Cinderace. Like, to win that game, I had to double and actually make plays, and I like that a lot about this generation. I feel like it does reward more the aggressive, like, the aggressive player, but also the one that like takes into account like the risk versus reward of that too. It's cool. Gen 8, you let you use some trash mons still do well, but in Gen 9 draft you can't really go with trash mons. In Gen 9 I feel like the opposite. Oh, I feel like Gen 8, you let you use some trash mons, but in draft you couldn't really go with trash mons. But Gen 9 I felt the opposite. I agree. I think Terra just changed everything. Terra makes things so much better in this gen. I love it. And honestly, lower tier draft is my favorite. Now the next draft league I am doing is the PPL. So I'm back in the PPL, and it is going to be play free Terra. I might Clyze. I'm honestly willing to do anything for this. I do have already a draft league in mind after PPL. It's probably going to be an Uber's draft league that I was invited to. And I was like, yo, let's do it. Because at this point, I'm like, or one Uber. At this point, I've experienced all I want to do in draft. I've won a lot, right? And the LA Lakers they're my best team ever, right? They're my best team ever. Period. Like, period. They're my best team ever. I had 2 championships, I think, with the Bronx Beartics. The UCL Season 1 and the UCL Little Cup offseason. Besides that, I just remember getting hacked in playoffs and also just playing bad. Like, that's all I remember with that. I don't think I ever won any other draft league with that. And here I already ran 2. Here I already ran like 1-2. And there were strong drafts. Thank you, Big Biggin. 25 cents on me. You go. Back in my day, you could buy some chips with that, bro. But yeah, I'm really much enjoying the draft. We got some LA Waker jerseys coming soon too. So hopefully that will do all right, or people like that rather. And cards are gonna be OU again with Terragon. Shoot, the spike stuff, the SD scale shot. Why not? So we got a lot of stuff coming out. I'm excited about that. I'm excited for the future of draft as well. It's gonna be a good time. I don't know. A lot of cool mons. What up, Frozen Goblin? How you doing, fam? Good morning. Gen 10 just sounds like a crazy game. Everything. I think Gen 10 is just gonna be the return of Megas, right? Because they're gonna have them in ZA. You can't give them in ZA. I picked a great gen to get in the drop. All thanks to you. Thank you for that, Brody. Hey, no worries. 25 cents for chips. Where are you sure you're 30? In the 90s, you go to the store and you get the smallest bag of chips and it's 25 cents. It became 50 cents after, but in the early, in the mid 90s, it was like that. One thing ZA will be hyped for draft. I don't, if ZA doesn't have battling, then it's going to have nothing for draft, but it's going to be really fun for Ethereum money. If you could have any money to get a mega, what would you want? Mega Spinda. I want it to be good. I really like Spinda for no reason whatsoever. I literally can't even think of a real why I like Spinda. Maybe because I like the drunken fighting type of thing. But like, hey Zanny, I really like Spinda. Back in my day, chips were a nickel. Shut the hell up, Mace. I really, really like Spinda, and I want Spinda to be good. So you give it superpower contrary, obviously. Give it drain punch, right? Obviously. Make it normal fighting. So Mega Lopunny. Give it 6,000 speed because it needs something crazy. Just Mega Yan Mega. You're drawing a Mega Pokemon, the ones that are true certified turn to great monsters. I dig Mega Spinda. Ayy. So Zanny, I was talking about mons that like kind of underperformed this season. Obviously, you were amazing in the game versus Ellie, which is, again, my favorite game. We're doing awards, and I put that, hey, Loya, how you doing, buddy? And I put that as my favorite game of the season, like legit. But obviously, there were other games where you got crit twice, back-to-back in my 2 losses. And then you were fine versus Callum, getting the Thunder Wave on, and the Rocks up was important. But I was just thinking about that. What time is finals? Sunday. It goes up Sunday. I don't know what time we're uploading yet because Uzi, I think he's gonna be flying. Hold up, let me say safe flight. Let me tell him safe flight. Where is Uzi? But yeah. Fine, found out that if my Arab gets married next, I might be a groomsman. Hell yeah, fam. Yeah, I was talking a little bit about that. What time is it for you? It's 1:19 a.m. I gotta wake up pretty early tomorrow, but just having a nice little chill stream, talking about it. Uzi can fly. Hi. Thanks for you. Hi. Let me get this. I don't know. I'm excited about this game either way. I think Uzi is probably always my hardest games in playoffs. Uzi's always my hardest games in playoffs. Now, granted, and also sometimes before playoffs. My game versus him, SPL Season 2, Week 8, was probably one of my favorite games that we ever played. That was probably one of my favorite games ever versus him. So my games versus Uzi are always like some of the toughest games, especially when they're rematches too, because he comes back, you know, to play. 12 out of 20. Sports comparison for you versus Uzi rivalry. I mean, I'm the Lakers, right? Are you going to stream the match or just going to post it? I'm going to post it, and then I'm going to... maybe the Celtics, I guess? I would want to keep it... It probably has to be the Celtics, right? Because I'm Lakers. I don't know. I'm trying to keep it like... Other Lakers gonna win 5 rings, bro. Lakers only have 2 rings so far, bro. 5 draft leagues, 2 rings. I don't know. It's gonna be a good one. I'm excited. And the next draft, we're already started drafting. Boston Bear takes. We already started drafting. I am 12th. So the next draft league is 20 people. One pick. Just let me know when the next draft Professor's is gonna be in with you, so I can say my goodbyes to the team early. Professor's in the next draft league. I'll give you guys that. He's in the PPL, so he does come back to draft. Yeah, it's 20 with 1 draft. I'm 12th pick. I've watched everything go. I wanted to find. I've wanted to. Yeah, I'll give you guys that. I'll give you guys that. I wanted to. There was a mon that I thought was a crazy steal that I was gonna get, and it just got sniped one before me. And it would have been my first pick, and it was not an S rank, not an A rank, or anything. It was so good, and I'm so sad it got sniped because I was like, yo, because my favorite thing to do in draft is find mons that I feel like are tiered poorly, and just use them and abuse them, and go crazy with them, right? I don't know which server they're using, Bandito. Like Petront, yeah. Crown is a cool one. The season in our draft was 21. What seed were you? I'm 12 out of 20. Which is so sad. So sad. But yeah, it's gonna be something, man. Hey, nice Chrome. We're kind of wrapping up here though. Which was the mon that I wanted. So it's a mon that was able to terrestrialize. And I'll tell you guys, the mon I wanted round 1 was Ogrepon, because there's only certain mons that can terrestrialize, and Ogrepon is able to terrestrialize. And I really freaking wanted it. 525 speed encore, boosted grass. I think Ogrepon is legit so freaking good. It's so good. And I wanted it because it fits my whole grass types are broken. The only Ogrepons that can Terra are Ogrepon grass and Ogrepon rock, guys. It's the speed boosting one. That's why I said 525 speed boosting one. Yes, teal Ogrepon. I think it's very good in draft. I think it would have been insane. Yeah, but it's gonna be this is one of the ones I definitely wanted, and it just got picked. Literally, my pick is in one pick, and it just got picked right before me. Water can't Terra, neither can fire. Yeah, rock can Terra, which is pretty cool. Water pond is available, can't Terra as well. But I don't know. It's gonna be something. Can't wait to see Rock Pond 6-0 Sun. I don't think it's as cool as the other mon I want though. It's high tier draft with mid tier terrors. So you have 27 points to terrestrialize with. You need 2 Terra Captain's Min. The upper ones are 20 points to Terra. And nothing broken can Terra. I think the only mons that can Terra are like some B tiers and down. So no A's and S's can Terra. In fact, some B's can't Terra. Some C's can't Terra. Grab the Uber as Spathra. That mon's not allowed to Terra today. I would though. I think fire and water are great without Terra as well. It's gonna be something. I'm about to stream, bro. Solgaleo's not allowed. I wish Solgaleo was allowed. Yeah, it's like it's tiered, but it's also points, and you have to have a specific amount as well. So it's interesting. Like you have X points to spend, and you have to have a minimum of. You only get 1 S, 1 A. You have a minimum of 2 like D's and stuff like that too. So like you can use your points and figure out how to use it, but it's a cool mix, and it has like a lot of mons banned, like Dragapult and stuff. Let me look at this. The draft of Terracast being max 13 points, that was fire. The Terra mods, the Terra Legend Premier. Yeah, those are legal too. Speed Boost Blaziken is indeed legal, correct. Yes. It cannot terrestrialize, but it is legal. So there's a lot of like really cool ones. Lower tier drafts are so much more fun to watch just because the games start cooking matches and hell. Yeah, I agree. All right, Tay, we'll talk about it when the time comes. I don't know if I'll get Chinchino, but who knows? Honestly, at this point, I'm kind of down to just draft whatever the fuck I want. But my favorite thing about draft is making a super broken team and that I never make trades on. Maybe I'll change a Terra on, but like that's my favorite thing. My literal favorite thing about draft is having broken teams. Like I'm so serious. I love having a team that people are like, damn, that team is, how did he get away with that? That's some of my favorite stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff that are legal in this as well. There's a lot of fun stuff. Do you have what you want written down? I discuss with a few people, usually what I want. That's what I'm saying, Necro. That's like, shout out to Necro Stevo, one of the OGs, one of the first people I'm subbed to. Freaking love his story videos. They're so good. Oh, hold up. Hold up. I'm doing well. Yeah, Tropics wouldn't be able to Terra, which is big, but it still gets its ability, right? Like the freaking everything is immune to resisted rather. What draft is it for? The next one, it's the PPL. Let me ask somebody something actually. Palafin's in too, yeah. Look at this. This thing's really fun. Hold on, I just saw something really interesting. I just saw something really, really, really interesting. Hey, you dropped the Chestnut video, Terra Captain Chestnut. Ooh. There's some mons that are legal here that I'm looking at. What are the mythic picks? Darkrai, Deoxys Speed, I believe. Let me look at what else PPL has. We'll talk about, I don't want to show that where tiers aren't allowed in PPL. Things like that. Darkrai, Deoxys Speed are big ones. Is it open Terra? No. So it's really interesting, right? So it's Terra based on your points. So the 20 through 17 can only terrestrialize into one type. And those are, and you have 27 points total. The 16 to 11 can only terrestrialize into two types. The 10 to 6 can terrestrialize into three types, and the 5 pointers to 1 pointers, and they're tiered differently, right? There's a tier list and there's a Terra tier list. It's just because you're tiered as a 6 in regular tier doesn't mean you're tiered as a 6 in Terra tier. I think Lux is a great mount with Terra. Jaden, no, this is just kind of the discussion. So there's a lot of interesting Terra options. Your poor man can't understand. Don't worry about it. Petron is allowed, correct. Full Terra's crazy though, yeah. Terra list is different than Mon list. Yep. So for instance, I'll tell you something. Lash Respects is allowed in this league, but Bastion Legion can't do it. But obviously Houndstone, Smeargle, and Basculin can. But Houndstone cannot terrestrialize, and even though Basculin is like a 5-pointer or 6-pointer, whatever they put it, it's not able to Terra either. Look at that. Ooh, I got a DM. Sneezer's not allowed Terra, no. At all. But yeah. Shedtail, same, yes. So Shedtail is allowed, but not on Cyclizar. It's allowed, but not on Cyclizar. So there's a lot of really, really cool stuff, and I'm very excited for the next season. Like I I don't think. Let's see if that one's allowed. No, we're not working with him at all anymore, Tolan. If you want to know why, you can go to GoAzu's Twitter, but we will not be working with him at all. And I will not be doing any draft leagues, no videos, no nothing with him. I don't have that anymore. It's just the no, that's yeah, I didn't realize Twitter was still a thing. But yeah, if you need the proof, it's on GoAzu's. Should actually remove the Twitter thing too. I don't need that anymore. No, I bought. I was thinking Septas sounds really fun, right? Septas sounds so fun. But yeah, anyway, guys, gonna call it that. Really, really short stream today, but I wanted to get this in before tomorrow anyway. And yep, tomorrow we could probably do some showdown building and stuff using viewer suggestions. I know Chicken McNugget wanted that, but have a great night. Appreciate you, Jacob. I'm sorry, I know you just came in, but I'll see you tomorrow on the stream, all right? Because I gotta wake up early. I'm gonna see A Drive and C-Bat and everybody. So have a great night, guys.